Thursday night. I work late, usually until almost midnight, and the walk home is about 20 minutes. That night, the rain was coming down hard, and my usual route was blocked by construction. So I cut through a side alley, one I normally avoid because it's always eerily quiet. Halfway down the alley, I almost stepped on it. A small porcelain doll, lying face down in a puddle. Its tiny white dress was stained brown with mud, its black hair plastered to its face. I bent down and turned it over, and I'll never forget that moment. Its glassy blue eyes stared straight at me, rain dripping off its cracked cheek. I should have left it there, but something about it felt wrong to ignore. It wasn't trash. It wasn't broken enough to be junk. It felt like it had been put there for someone to find, for me to find. Against my better judgment, I picked it up and brought it home. I tossed it on the kitchen counter and tried to forget about it. Took a shower, ate something quick, scrolled my phone. By 1 a.m., I was in bed. At exactly 3:12 a.m., I woke up. Not from a dream, not from a noise, just that gut feeling that something was off. The apartment was quiet, but not the normal quiet. It was too quiet, like the world was holding its breath. And then I heard it. Soft, quick footsteps, like a child running barefoot on the kitchen floor. I grabbed my phone for light and slowly crept out of bed, every step making the floor creak under me. The sound stopped as soon as I reached the hallway. When I peeked into the kitchen, the doll wasn't where I'd left it. It was now sitting upright on the floor, facing me, head tilted slightly, like it was curious. I told myself I must have moved it earlier and forgotten. I put it back on the counter and went to bed, though I barely slept after that. The next night, it happened again. This time, the footsteps didn't stop when I got up. They sped up, running into the living room. My heart was pounding so hard, I thought I might pass out, but I forced myself to look. The doll was now in the living room, sitting perfectly in the center of the carpet, its face turned toward the hallway, as if waiting for me. The muddy water from its dress had left tiny streaks behind it, like it had crawled there. I put it outside that night, on the front porch, hoping it would be gone by morning. But when I woke up, it was back inside, sitting on my kitchen table. The door had been locked from the inside. By the fourth night, things escalated. The TV in the living room turned on by itself at 3:07 a.m., blasting static. When I turned toward the sound, I froze. The doll was standing, not sitting, standing upright against the wall, its head tilted back at an impossible angle, staring at the ceiling. Then the lights went out. I grabbed the doll, ran outside, and threw it into the dumpster behind the building. I didn't care about the rain. I didn't care about the mud. I just wanted it gone. But at 3:14 a.m., my phone buzzed. A notification from an unknown number. When I opened it, my blood went cold. It was a picture of my front door, taken from outside. And in the bottom corner of the photo, barely visible, was the doll sitting on the porch, facing the camera. I didn't sleep. By morning, I had packed everything I could fit into my car and left. I didn't even break the lease. I just drove until I was 3 towns away and found a cheap month-to-month rental. For 2 weeks, everything was normal. I started to feel stupid for being so scared. I told myself it was just a prank, maybe a neighbor messing with me. Then last night, it happened again. 3:12 a.m., my phone buzzed. Another photo. This time it wasn't my old apartment, it was my new apartment door. And the doll was closer, sitting right against the door frame, its cracked face now smiling. I think tonight, it's coming inside. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat on the couch with every light on, clutching a kitchen knife, staring at the door. At exactly 3:12 a.m., the sound came again, faint at first, like small hands dragging across the hallway floor. Then, 3 slow knocks, each one louder than the last. My phone buzzed. Another picture. My own door. But this time, the doll wasn't sitting. It was standing. Before I could even breathe, the doorknob started to turn. By itself, the deadbolt rattled violently. I backed up, heart hammering, knife trembling in my hand. And then, silence. I took 1 step forward, barely breathing, when the lights flickered out. In the darkness, I saw her. Not just the doll, but something bigger standing behind it. A figure, pale, long-limbed, with a face too smooth to be human. Crouching low, hands on the doll's shoulders, as if guiding it. I froze. The door swung open with a slow, creaking sound. The figure and doll stepped inside together, dripping with rainwater that smelled like rust and copper. My bare feet felt wet. I looked down. The floor was covered in red streaks, fresh, glistening, trailing all the way from the door. And then I heard it. A voice, not a child's laugh this time, but a whisper that scraped against my brain. You brought me home. The last thing I remember was the sound of porcelain cracking and something warm splattering across my face as the lights came back on. When the neighbors found my apartment the next morning, the front door was wide open. My belongings were untouched, and the only thing left in the living room was the doll, sitting upright, smiling, and its tiny porcelain hands were stained red.